Now this week we saw the official launch of the Children's Rights and Constitutional Mural at Constitutional Hill in Braamfontein. 20 children worked with 3 professional artists to design the mural and participated in the workshops with the artists. They also visited Play Afrika and the Constitutional Court to come up with the imagery for the mural. We are now joined by Gretchen Wilson-Prangley, the CEO of Play Afrika. Gretchen, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off with the significance of this mural and for these children to be able to do what they've done.
You're right. So this mural was designed by the children themselves in collaboration with these 3 artists. And the reason is that we are celebrating 25 years of South Africa's acclaimed constitution. This is a really powerful opportunity for us to bring the meaning and the relevance and the purpose of the Constitution to a whole new generation of children who weren't alive at the time of the struggle for democracy and, of course, the drafting and the signing of the Constitution. So we know that it's up to us as adults to make sure that the Constitution remains fresh and relevant for a whole new generation of young South Africans.
And that is very important, isn't it? Because it really does speak to making the Constitution alive for the younger generation and for them to then pick up what is within the Constitution just in a fun way.
Absolutely, and I think the reality is children are taught a little bit about the Constitution in school, but as you say, it's a living document. It's a living, breathing document that is tested and challenged every single day at the Constitutional Court, and I think this is an opportunity for us to really make sure that children understand that they do have rights and what those rights are. One of the things that we find is that, oftentimes we hear from girls that they didn't know that girls and boys have the same rights, that they are equal. And this is something that really surprises us because we think so many advances have been made. But we realize that for young children, this needs to be taught explicitly.
And of course, the importance of such projects for young children, especially in the context of COVID-19.
Absolutely. So many children have had learning losses and challenges of being at home. We're losing these big gaps to teach children some fundamental aspects of their rights and in the Constitution, but also their rights just as residents and citizens of South Africa. So how can we make this really come alive for them? And the way that we did that through this workshop was through a series of brainstorming sessions, tours of Constitution Hill, and then, of course, the mural making. But the reality is there are millions of children who need to learn about their rights. And so we've also developed, and I think this is really exciting, curriculum resources for educators. Every educator in South Africa can use our curriculum resources, which we're releasing next month, to be able to turn their classrooms into playful learning spaces where they can teach children about their rights in a playful way.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, that what you've now done for teachers in schools. Which grades have you targeted?
We've focused on grades 3 through 6, but our work can really be translated down into children from grades 1 and 2, and then all the way through high school. The reality is that we find that children love these role plays, role-playing, learning how to vote, learning how to make their voices heard in a courtroom setting, learning how to get together with others and make their rights known by putting their rights on signs and holding them up for others to see. These are playful ways for children to really make those rights come alive, and it's so memorable and so empowering for children.
How has the experience been for them?
Well, we've worked with thousands of children on these experiences and honed these activities over many years. We find that it's very powerful. Some children are having their rights violated on a regular basis, as we all know in this country. And we find that some children, even if they've been in a courtroom setting, find that role-playing, that being a judge in a court, being a lawyer in a court, they feel a sense of new empowerment, and they're able to make new meaning of that experience by being empowered to speak up for themselves. It's a really, really powerful program, and we heard from educators again and again that they wanted this to be in every classroom in the country. And that's why, with support from the Government of Canada, we were able to make these curriculum resources. We think it's pretty groundbreaking. We don't know any other experience or set of curriculum resources like this that are available in South Africa at the moment, and we're really excited to release them next month.
Now, what is then the plan, Gretchen, going forward with this mural? Where will it be put? Is there a plan in that essence?
The mural is based at Kotze Street and Queen Street in Braamfontein, facing the residents in the inner city of Hillbrow. It's a really nice marking to really make children's voices and children's rights very visible for anyone who's coming to Constitution Hill or anyone who's coming into Braamfontein as a pedestrian from that side. You can go see it right now, and it's a permanent installation there on the corner of Katza Street and Queen Street.
Any plans to move it further, maybe to take it through to other provinces of the country?
Well, it's installed permanently on the wall on the perimeter of Constitution Hill, but I think what we can see is we'd love to see ways in which other communities across the country and even in other countries might be inspired to do similar kinds of processes, helping children get to know the constitutions in their own countries, or get to know what their rights are and making those visible, and really creating some space to permanently put those. It really puts a value on children's experiences and makes their experience visible for residents.
And it's also important in the conversations that they have with their parents after doing something like this, knowing their rights, and the conversations that they are able to then carry through going home. Absolutely.
We find that parent engagement around this process was really strong, and they're so proud of their children and for what they've achieved. There's also parents who told us that they wished that they had seen something like this when they were younger, because it would really reinforce their value in society.
And the issue, of course, Gretchen, I mean, we always talk about children's rights, but their responsibilities as well. Was that brought out during this activity?
It was definitely spoken about, weighing those rights and responsibilities. And I think even just speaking to the past story that you showcased on the show, we also have a program that talks about how do we live with Ubuntu, kindness, and empathy, especially when dealing with some of the rising xenophobia and violence against foreign nationals. How do we create opportunities to, this program is called Bridges of Peace, bring people together to have conversations. It's our responsibility to treat others with respect and dignity, and we can have rights, but we also must make sure that we do not escalate into violence and confrontation.
Just a reminder, where can we get this mural? The beauty of it is just amazing.
Yeah, the mural is at Katza Street and Queen Street on the perimeter of Constitution Hill, and anyone's welcome to come and see it and see for themselves the colorful voices of children.
And if people would like to get in partnership with you or do this in their own homes, what advice would you give them?
Absolutely. Well, we have resources available on our website for anyone to access freely. It's at playafrica.org.za. And we also will be releasing these new curriculum resources, which I think are going to be the vibrant kind of way to do this kind of thing in their own communities. And that's going to be released in the end of February on our website.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Gretchen Wilson-Prangley, the CEO of Play Africa, giving us details about the mural. Absolutely beautiful. The mural that has been designed, and it's the official launch of the Children's Rights and the Constitution mural. That is what it's called.